Hedeby was not important because Vikings were dramatic. It was important because geography created a problem, and this town helped solve it. If goods needed to move between continental Europe and Scandinavia, or between North Sea and Baltic networks, the region around Hedeby mattered. Water routes, land routes, a narrow crossing, harbor space, craft production, and defensive control all came together. That is the real hook.
This episode is a reconstruction, not actual footage. The strongest source anchor is the UNESCO World Heritage description of the archaeological border complex of Hedeby and the Danevirke, along with heritage and museum sources that describe roads, buildings, harbor structures, craftwork, and reconstructed houses. The visuals should be read as source-grounded interpretation, not as a filmed Viking town.
Start with the map. Hedeby sat near the Schlei in a borderland connected to the Danevirke. Its importance was not only local. It belonged to a wider pattern of movement between north and south, east and west, land and water. A trader did not need a romantic saga to care about this place. A trader needed a route. The map should show the problem simply. The North Sea and the Baltic are not the same water space. Goods and people had to move through corridors, crossings, and controlled points. Hedeby's setting helped turn that geography into a working exchange system.
That is why the first visual should not be a warrior on a hill. It should be a route becoming a town. Now move to the harbor. UNESCO describes Hedeby as a trading town with roads, buildings, cemeteries, harbor features, jetties, and shipwrecks. The harbor is not decoration. It is the town's working edge. Boats arrive. Goods move across timber. Rope pulls, people wait. Wood creaks. Water ripples. Someone repairs. Someone counts. Someone carries a bundle away from the jetty.
This is one of the safest places to add motion. Water, smoke, cloth, slow distant workers, and small boat movement. Fast figures should be avoided. The goal is a living harbor, not malformed bodies.
The scene should also avoid perfection. Timber should be worn. Planks should be damp and uneven. Some storage should be full, some sparse. A richer cargo edge can exist next to mud and repair work. Trade does not mean everything looks wealthy.
If ordinary systems like this are the history you want more of, subscribe after this scene. Hedeby is interesting because it shows the work underneath the legend.
Now step away from the water.
The museum and heritage descriptions of Hedeby emphasize reconstructed houses, narrow plank roads, and clay-plastered wattle-and-daub buildings. These details matter because they give the town a body. A trading center is not only ships. It is walking surfaces, doorways, smoke, storage, tools, fences, rooms, and paths worn by repeated use.
The route walk should be forward only. No reverse loops. No camera falling toward the ground. The horizon should stay stable as the viewer moves along a plank road. The shot should pass a house front, a work area, a sparse corner, a storage place, and a glimpse back toward water or earthwork.
This is where the episode can correct the fantasy image of a Viking town. Do not show giant halls everywhere. Do not show horned helmets. Do not fill every frame with polished shields. A working town needs smaller things: comb scraps, beads, tools, soot, patched walls, baskets, wet earth, and ordinary people moving through daily tasks. Craftwork is the next layer. Hedeby is associated with specialized crafts: glass beads, combs, tools, and precious metal work. Craft production turns the town from a place goods pass through into a place where value is made. A trader may bring raw material or finished goods. A craftsperson may transform bone, glass, metal, wood, or textile into objects that travel again. A good object scene should be quiet: a workbench with bone comb pieces, a small group of glass beads, a tool near a worn plank, smoke and low light, no close-up hands if the model cannot keep them clean, no fantasy treasure table. The object should feel usable, not magical.
Now bring in the Danevirke. The defensive system matters because trade often depends on control. Hedeby was not floating freely in an empty landscape. It was connected to a border complex. Earthworks' routes, access, and security shaped how people moved. The episode should not turn this into a battle scene. The better image is an earthwork near movement, a controlled corridor, a defensive line, and a town that benefits from geography being managed.
This helps explain why Hedeby worked. It was a harbor, but not only a harbor. It was a craft place, but not only a workshop. It was a defended borderland node, but not only a fortress. It worked because those pieces overlapped.
There is a limitation. Much of Hedeby remains unexcavated and reconstructions are interpretive. We know enough to describe roads, buildings, harbor structures, craftwork, and trade importance. We do not know every house interior, every person, every cargo, or one exact day. A responsible reconstruction should keep that boundary visible.
Return to the main idea. Hedeby became important because movement needed places like this. A boat needed a harbor. Goods needed a crossing. Crafts needed workers and materials. People needed roads, houses, storage, water, fire, and protection. A defensive border system could help control movement. A trading town could turn that controlled movement into exchange. That is the ordinary world beneath the Viking image. Not only raids, not only longships, not only kings.
Plank roads, mud jetties, houses, beads, combs, tools, earthworks, routes.
Hedeby worked because it made geography usable.
If you want more grounded reconstructions of ordinary worlds, subscribe, like the video, and watch the next episode in the playlist.